Sir Topham Hatt sat in his office listening to the noise outside. The passengers were angry. The station master came in, said Sir Topham Hatt. He found Gordon, James, and Henry looking very cross, said Gordon, said Sir Topham Hatt. And he hurried away to find Edward. He thought sadly. Edward was shunting, said Sir Topham Hatt. So Edward found coaches for the 3 engines, and that day the trains ran as usual. But next morning Edward looked unhappy. Gordon came clanking, passing, hissing rudely, said Sir Topham Hatt, answered Edward. He went to the workshop, and they showed them all sorts of engines. At last he saw a small little green engine with 4 wheels, he thought. And Sir Topham Hatt brought Percy back to the yard, he called. Percy soon learned what he had to do, and they had a happy afternoon. Then Henry came by hissing as usual, went Percy. Henry jumped and ran back to the shed. Laughed Edward, said Percy. Next morning Thomas arrived. He said to Edward, replied Edward. Snorted Thomas, answered Percy. Edward and Thomas worked the main line, greeting each other as they passed by. Percy puffed along the branch line. Thomas was anxious about Annie and Clarabelle, but both driver and conductor promised to take care of them. There were fewer trains, but the passengers didn't mind. They knew the 3 other engines were having a lesson. Gordon, James, and Henry were cold, lonely, and miserable. They wished now they hadn't been so silly.